أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. He who does not abstain from evil in action and in deed, Allah does not need his abstinence from food and water. With these inimitable words of our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I welcome you to this edition of NASFAT Half Hour. Today we are following our discussion on the auspicious month of Ramadan. Yesterday we looked at the significance of Ramadan. I am Mustafa Adebayo Bello, and with me in the studio we have our Imam, the Deputy Chief Missioner of NASFAT, Fadila Sheikh Abdul Aziz Maruf Onife. You are most welcome. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we want to look at the permissibles and non-permissibles during the month of Ramadan. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had mentioned that in Ramadan all doors leading to paradise are opened and the doors of hellfire are closed, and Shaitan and all its collaborating forces are under shade. And for this reason, that's why it's important for us to look at what are those things that we as fasting Muslims must do, and what are those things that we must abstain from. We'll start from the point of view of my Ustad. How should the day of a Muslim be? A fasting Muslim, from Sahur to Iftar, how should he live his day? A normal day of fasting.
We thank Almighty Allah for making us Muslims. We thank Him for giving us the blessing of witnessing the month of Ramadan. May Almighty Allah accept it as act of ibadah. The average Muslim has to spend his day. This is a time that is so precious that you don't wait just a second of it. From the time of Sahur to the time of breakfast. How do you spend it? If you decide that it's a working class person, you go to work. Ramadan will not be an excuse for you to be less productive. In fact, the fact that you are not going to eat throughout the day to make you concentrate more on your work. That's talking about the challenge of as a worker. But spiritually, every Muslim to endeavor, and that's an advice. This month is the month that Quran was repeated to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said he knew that he was about the year he was to die. He knew that he would die that year because Angel Jibril used to recite the Holy Quran to him once in a month. But the year that the Prophet would die, the Angel Gabriel came twice to recite the Prophet. That's why I enjoy every Muslim to divide our Quran, the Holy Quran. I talk about 300 pages. Read 20 pages in a day. In 30 days, you will have finished the whole Quran. In your lifetime, when we have asked you, are you able to communicate with Allah? Are you able to communicate with Allah by praying, by offering my salah? And Allah is able to communicate with me by me completing the complete Quran in the month of Ramadan. This is the opportunity, this is the time. Every Muslim, 20 pages in a day, divide it into 5. 5 pages after every salah. And before you realize 4 or 5 pages after every salah, before you realize it, you will have read 25 pages in a day. Multiplied by 30, 750 pages. And the average Quran is about 670 pages. You will have completed the whole Quran. That's about recitation. One of the best ways to be productive in Ramadan spiritually is to align yourself with the recitation of the Quran. About Nawafil, the Quran says, Quran is right. It says, every individual, this is not talking about Ramadan, it's talking about Tahajjud. And therefore, and do Tahajjud. Asa Rabuka Yabataka Rabuka Mahmuda. But I had the Laka. Asa Ayabataka Rabuka Mahmuda. In the night, do Tahajjud, which is from the word Ijtihad, effort. Make effort in the night, wake up. Our father, he will not abuse them, he made a lot of effort by encouraging us to specify particular number of rakats. Do 6 rakats in 4th day, do 7 rakats. People can say, and they are just with their own opinion. But Prophet never said, do 3, do 4. Our fathers use that to encourage us. If you don't want to do 3, you want to do 1 and specify the minimum number that the Prophet used to observe, not his last time, 2 rakats. Make it a point of duty every night before your Sahur to do Tahajjud. 2 rakats. The last part of the night, either 2, 4, or 6 rakats. For no reason to the Muslim allow the whole month of Ramadan to go away without you getting accustomed to tahajjud every night, to reading of Quran every day, and to be attending tafsir.
Okay.
Tafsir, we are scattered all over. Okay. You do, next time we do one tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. We enjoy everybody to come and attend it. On radio, even when you are working, you continue your radio, some of the stations. After every minute, you will be hearing, you will be listening to a lecture. Find that case, find and take care. Time about money. Give them admonition. I know it is useful to those who are believers. This is the time for us to be reading Quran. This is more. This is time for us to be observing our tahajjud. More. This is time for us to be going to wherever they are giving the remembrance of Allah. Number 4. This is time for us to do a lot of azkar. A lot of us waste our time. When you are in the bus, you are not the one driving. You are not the conductor. Instead of getting engaged in azkar silently, without doing so hot, without bringing out 1,000 rosary for you to attract attention. Before you get down from the next bus stop, you will have done a lot of azkar, maybe 100. And by the time you weigh it, there's some azkar that you will do. The prophet will say it's like you have freed 10 slaves. It's like you have used 20 camels to do sadaqah. And these are the opportunities you are allowed to slip away, to waste away during Ramadan. Do Quran, do tahajjud, attend tafsir, do a lot of azkar daily. But mind you, don't ever be less productive. Just okay, because you are fasting. Nobody can send you an error again in your office. You now intend to be making jest of Islam. Yoruba will say, and whenever I hear people say it, I think it's a hazard. I take refuge. He says, it's on of my way. It's on of my way. Something that is insulting, like 30 days of Ramadan. 30 days of Ramadan is a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. It's on of my way. It's not complimentary. It's derogatory. It's not expected from any Muslim. A lot of people are now, they are sad that this will 30 days only. They are not happy. They want to be 50 days, 3 months. May Allah make it easy for us.
Amen. We thank Ustaz for that exposition. In fact, you went beyond what I even asked you. You even gave us how the night should be spent. At the daytime, we should familiarize ourselves with the Quran. We should always gravitate towards the mosque. But he warned that the period of Ramadan should not be for purpose of indolence. People should not become indolent, unproductive on the excuse of the fact that they are fasting. In fact, that we are fasting should make us stronger. Should also make us to be more focused and attentive to our work, because at least you will not be eating, so you will not be distracted. That is the message. Now that we know how to spend the day, and of course at the night, it is also important now to look at beyond going to tafsir. What are those habits that you feel that we can run away from, so that we will not decrease the benefits, the spiritual benefits of our fasting? I'm talking specifically about non-permissible, those things that we should run away from in Ramadan.
It will interest you, my presenter, that most of the things that we were not to be doing when Ramadan was not on, we shouldn't be doing when there's Ramadan.
So everything that is not permitted outside Ramadan is also not permitted during Ramadan.
Don't get into obscene stuff. Don't watch pornographic films. Don't intermingle with opposite sex unnecessarily. Don't lie.
Don't shake hands with women that are not your wife.
All the things that are not permissible in terms of general acts.
Okay.
But talking specifically now, in terms of Ramadan, in the morning of Ramadan, after Ramadan, you cannot have intercourse with your woman.
Okay.
Why I'm going specifically, these things are only limited to
Ramadan.
Don't eat from morning till afternoon. And it must not pass. It's an unfortunate opinion.
Okay.
But if you eat mistakenly, Prophet says, if somebody is fasting and eats mistakenly, if you continue with the fasting, well, I want to feed him. If it is out of mistake, then okay, I want to do it this way. Let me do afternoon sound. Let me do evening sound. In our own religion, how it's going to be done has been listed. This is an act of ibadah. In act of ibadah, everything is halal, everything is haram, except what is halal. What that means is that what you have to do has been stated in the Quran and Hadith.
Anything outside it becomes haram.
That's an act of ibadah. You keep away from eating from morning till evening. You don't eat after Fajr until the sunset. It's not negotiable. It's an open. Okay. Nobody can say, okay, there's a fatwa, there is this thing. Because there is a difference between fatwa and hukum. Hukum is an enforceable opinion. Fatwa is a legal opinion. This legal opinion can be subjected to so many interpretations, so many reasons, because that's the way the man understands it. They are talking about hukum. Everybody wants to fast. You must not eat from morning till evening. Okay. You must not have sexual intercourse with your woman in the afternoon of Ramadan. But in the night, after that we are legally married, you can cohabit with them in the night of Ramadan. The fact that you are fasting doesn't mean that you not play with your wife at all. You don't cast joke with them. That is fasting. You don't cast joke with them. You are looking, frowning your face. It's not allowed. Ramadan is not like that. Okay. Keep away from fasting. Keep away from eating. Keep away from sex. Keep away from obscene talk. I'm not the part of a father that is calling people from getting associated with social media. Nobody on social media is around. It depends on the way you use it. My moderator, you will be surprised the kind of information that you have accessed through social media. Yeah. It depends on the way you use it. But most of the time, our youth, they abuse it. If you don't have time to go to university, Google on YouTube, Koridowi, and you listen to lecture. Lecture recorded on YouTube. Benefit of Ramadan on YouTube. You listen to the lecture, you watch the lecture as if you are there. You have an idea, then you increase the iman, you increase your knowledge in Islam. These are the things that are permissible in Islam. Increase in knowledge, getting close to their father and ask them questions. Because if you don't know, it's surprising most of the time when you want to learn driving, you go to driving school. When you want to learn about Islam, you pick it on the road. You don't go to the school and ask them. And this is the thing that Allah will have to. How do you do it? I don't have knowledge. Fari puni kulanda buduni. Amala ya buduni, bakeba ya buduni. These are hadiths, and authentic hadiths. Hadiths are saying what? Fari tell us you know me before you worship me. Okay. You don't know me, how do you worship me? Thank you on that note of knowing Allah. And specifically because we talk about listening to the exegesis of the Quran. This morning, NASFAT will be hosting one. And that's why we're employing all our Muslim brothers from every part of Lagos State to come outside Lagos, to come to Alausa, Lagos Secretariat Mosque Extension, where Professor Abdulhafiz Oladutu of the University of Ibadan will be discussing issues relating to our new political dispensation, particularly the Muslim participation in politics. We want all our brothers and sisters to come there so that you can also learn more. And of course, we also know, like I mentioned yesterday, that platform is going to be used for the disbursement, the second disbursement of Zakat by the new baby of NASFAT Agency for Zakat and Sadaqah. NASFAT is doing so much, and we feel that the less privileged members of the society should also be given a lift so that they can also become productive, they can also make something out of their life. And that's why today, this morning, for our listeners that are watching now, please join us at Alausa, and you're sure it will be a spiritually fulfilling time when you come. And also it is important to also mention, yesterday, our staff mentioned the fact that towards the end of Ramadan, for those who have the means to go on Umrah, so that you can have the benefit of having the letter to call it in the Holy Land. If you want to go on Umrah, NASFAT also has provided the platform to do it. Tours and travels. The forms are available, and I'm sure if you come on the ground this morning, you will have the opportunity of buying the form, and you can go with us to Umrah. Let us go back to our discussion now. What is the punishment for somebody who, out of his own free volition, decides to miss Ramadan? If you miss Ramadan, you are not a Muslim. Islam is based on that thing, and it is not I believe this, I don't believe this. Selective belief. There is nothing that selective belief in Islam. All the five pillars, you must do them. Except you have cogent reasons like old age, pregnancy, breastfeeding, sickness, long travel. Without that, if once you suffer yourself a Muslim, there is no excuse, there is no reason for not doing Ramadan. If you fail Ramadan as a Muslim, you are denouncing the religion, except by the act that is beyond your capability. Let us now assume a scenario where somebody, maybe for negligence or carefreeness, maybe somebody, maybe on the daytime of Ramadan, had sexual intercourse with somebody, with his wife, and at that point in time, it has, vitiated his fasting. What is the atonement for that? When you talk about so many times, it's divided into three.
Yeah.
Now pick the one that is. The fact that you do that, you committed an offense, you Allah forgive him or her, you will repay the thing, and you're going to give another 61 consecutively.
60 days consecutive fasting. For missing just one.
For missing for example. If he will feed 66.
Oh, is it going to do it concurrently or
concurrently?
After fasting for...
I'm trying to remember the particular part of the brother that lists out the atonement.
Okay.
And when the brother is not saying, is it in the order of revelation or you just pick one? If I cannot fast for this, I cannot feed number of people, I cannot free. Which one to come first? Okay. Somebody went to the prophet and he said, he said, oh, I'm in trouble. But what happened? I did this on the night of Ramadan. So I said, okay, you have to fast for the number of days. You have to feed. So I said, feeding the whole Medina. There is nobody that is poorer than me.
Oh, it considers that as the poorest in Medina.
You have to feed.
It does not have the means.
Yes. Said, I can't feed that number because you don't have the means to say, this is the date. You take it.
Okay. The Prophet now provided the means to do the atonement.
The atonement. Either you fast, you free sleep, or you feed.
Okay. I think the message we are conveying to our viewers is to say that the benefit of fasting of Ramadan is so enormous that if you miss a day, there is no number of days that you have fasted throughout. Even if you fast for throughout your year, it will not in any way take care of the one day that is missed. And that is what is important. And that there is no option for Ramadan. It is an obligation that we all must do. Now that we now know what we should not do in Ramadan, specifically as regards, because the media, both the print and the electronic, there are lectures everywhere. How should a Muslim look in our environment where even charlatans are in this business of lecturing? There are people who are just even entertainers who are there. How should a Muslim ensure that it does not in any way sacrifice a second of his time in Ramadan on frivolity?
That's what I've told you, that there are some recognized Muslim organizations that have carved a niche for themselves. They have been known to maintain that every Sunday at Alausa, we gather people and we lecture them. This morning, Saturday, they have invited lecturers to come and talk to them. But unfortunately, most of the things you listen to radio and television, they are not censored by anybody. Anybody cannot come out. Anybody cannot say, let me come and talk about Islam. That's why I've said that all these electronic gadgets are handy. You can access notable scholars, credible information, NASFAT online, IET online, Kodowi online, even therefore you can get them online and watching them. You have to report online, online on YouTube. You can access all these people on YouTube without compromising the tenets of the religion. So most of the time you listen to radio programs, what is this one thing? This one is wasting the data. But that is the level we find ourselves now. As an answer that makes it a point of duty that every Sunday we invite lecturers to come and talk to people and enjoy all those who are doing what today to come and be attending NASFAT program every Sunday. 10 o'clock of Ramadan, during Ramadan, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, we do our Salat story there at our NASFAT Alausa program there. You listen to lectures, soul inspiring lectures, spiritually fulfilling lectures every Sunday. And Saturday at this morning, we are gathering at the extension to come and listen to lecture from Professor Ladis from UI. And every Friday is also Tahajjud. Twice in a month, after Ramadan, we do Tahajjud. During Ramadan is every week. Like today, like yesterday now, we just finished our Tahajjud. It is done every Friday during Tahajjud. And the last 10 days of Ramadan is going to be done daily. So the last 10 days of Ramadan. And it's going to take place at Alausa Mosque extension. If you come here for that 10 days, you can't be the same again spiritually. Thank you. The message is clear. No Muslim should have the excuse of not taking advantage of the atmosphere of Ramadan to earn for himself enormous blessing from Almighty Allah. And if you are confused as regards where to go, NASFAT has provided the platform. At the extension, the last 10 days of Ramadan is every day. The Tahajjud is every day. Before those days, every Friday there's Tahajjud. And there's also Tafsir every Friday. At the extension, Allah will start there. And of course, we also know that we are meeting, and I'm sure my viewers who are listening to me, please after your sahur, don't oversleep,
ensure that you take your bath and pick a copy of your Quran. If you don't have a Quran, come to the ground, you buy one, and come and partake of the spiritual blessing that is going to be offered from that kind of environment. You know, it is Ramadan. We also want to encourage our brothers and sisters to learn to share. This is the month of sharing. If you have just one orange, cut it into two, share it with somebody who is fasting with you. If you have a bunch of bananas, please share it and share it with people around you. This is the month of the Quran, it's the month of mercy, it is the month of forgiveness. We thank Almighty Allah for seeing us this far. While I'll be expecting you this morning at the Alausa ground extension for our program, it's also important to also reiterate the fact that NASFAT has also provided a platform for our teaming Muslim brothers and sisters who want to go on Hajj and on Umrah, as well as for those who want to take advantage of Ramadan to have the Layla to Qadr and the Holy Land. Please, you can check at NASFAT Tours and Travels, numbers 9 and 10, CMD Jubilee Road at Magodo, Lagos. And I'm sure if you come on ground this morning, the funds will equally be available to all of us. It is important for us to also know that in this month of Ramadan, while we congregate this morning, the second disbursement for zakat will be distributed at the ground. I will start. Your last word for our brothers and sisters.
We enjoy all of us again. Islam is a religion of peace. It's a very easy religion. And we are not allowed to commit suicide. We are not allowed to kill anybody. We are not allowed to kill ourselves. Those who are sick and they feel they can manage the fast, although they are exempted, but those who can take palliative to sustain themselves, like the asthmatic people, you can take your inhaler. It doesn't disturb your ability. It doesn't disturb your fasting. Injection that is not nourishing. The scholars have agreed that the injection that is not nourishing, that doesn't serve for replacement for food
or water,
you can take it. Don't you because of fasting, and there are time for you to take your inhaler, and there are time for you to take injection. That is not nourishing, that is not replacing food. You can take it. May Allah accept our acts of ibadah. This is a religion of peace. It's not a religion of difficulty. He has excused some people from fasting. But if you know that, okay, I'm sick, but that sickness is not something that can destroy me from fasting completely. I can take palliative to sustain myself. Scholars have agreed that you can take the palliative provided it is not replacing food or water. May Allah do with all of us.
We thank Almighty Allah. Islam is a religion of peace. It is not a religion of difficulty. On that note, I want to say to all our viewers, brothers and sisters in Islam, that we will be, expecting you at the Lausa ground, and we'll get back to you tomorrow morning. Same time, inshallah. I'm Mustafa Adiba Bello. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.